Value of time. Turn every moment into an opportunity. In a bustling town named Springfield lived a young boy named Ethan. Ethan was known for his carefree attitude and his tendency to waste time. Every morning, he would laze in bed, scrolling through his phone for hours before finally deciding to start his day. His parents often scolded him, saying, "Ethan, time is precious. You should use it wisely." But Ethan would shrug and reply, "Relax, Mom. I have plenty of time." One summer morning, while Ethan was lounging on the couch, his grandfather, Mr. Howard, came to visit. Mr. Howard was a retired professor, known for his wisdom and stories. He greeted Ethan warmly and said, "How are you, my boy? You look like you've been resting a lot." Ethan smiled lazily. "I'm fine, Grandpa. I just like to relax and enjoy my time." Mr. Howard raised an eyebrow but didn't comment further. Instead, he said, "Ethan, I have a little story to share with you. Would you like to hear it?" Ethan nodded, curious. He always enjoyed his grandfather's stories, even if they sometimes carried hidden lessons. The story of the precious hourglass. Many years ago, Mr. Howard began, there was a young man named Liam who lived in a village near the sea. Liam was much like you. He believed there was always plenty of time to do everything he wanted. He would spend his days lounging by the beach, watching the waves, and dreaming about becoming successful someday. One day, while wandering through the marketplace, Liam came across an old merchant selling hourglasses. The merchant's hourglasses were not ordinary. They were beautifully crafted, with golden frames and sparkling sand. Liam was fascinated. The merchant noticed Liam's interest and said, "Young man, would you like to buy an hourglass? It's not just a decorative piece. It can change your life." "Change my life?" Liam laughed. "How can an hourglass do that?" The merchant smiled mysteriously and replied, "This is a magical hourglass. Each grain of sand represents a moment of your life. As the sand flows from the top to the bottom, it reminds you that time, once gone, can never return. Use it wisely, and it will guide you toward success." Intrigued, Liam decided to buy the hourglass. He took it home and placed it on his desk. At first, he didn't take it seriously. He continued to waste his days, ignoring the steady flow of sand in the hourglass. But one evening, as he stared at the hourglass, something changed. He realized how quickly the sand was slipping away. For the first time, he felt the weight of time passing. It was as if the hourglass was whispering to him, "Your time is limited. Make it count." Liam decided to change his ways. He began waking up early, setting goals, and working hard to achieve them. He used every moment wisely, learning new skills, helping others, and pursuing his dreams. Over time, he became a respected and successful man in his village, all because he understood the value of time. The lesson. Mr. Howard paused and looked at Ethan. "So, my dear boy, what do you think of the story?" Ethan thought for a moment and said, "I understand, Grandpa." Liam realized that time is precious and started using it wisely. "But it's just a story. I don't have a magical hourglass to remind me." Mr. Howard chuckled. "You don't need a magical hourglass, Ethan. Every clock, every sunrise and sunset, and even the beating of your heart are reminders that time is flowing. It's up to you to decide how to use it. Do you want to let it slip away, or do you want to turn every moment into an opportunity?" Ethan felt a pang of guilt. He thought about the hours he wasted every day doing nothing productive. He realized that while he couldn't control time, he could control how he spent it. A new beginning. The next morning, Ethan woke up early. He decided to make a schedule for his day, allocating time for studies, hobbies, and helping his parents. Instead of scrolling through his phone, he read a book about personal development. Instead of procrastinating, He completed his school assignments on time. Ethan's parents were pleasantly surprised by the change in his behavior. His mother said, "What happened to our lazy Ethan? You've turned into a responsible young man." Ethan smiled and replied, "Grandpa's story made me realize the value of time. I don't want to waste it anymore." Over the weeks, Ethan noticed significant improvements in his life. He felt more accomplished, his grades improved, and he even discovered a passion for painting. He used his free time to practice and became quite skilled. One evening, as Ethan was painting a beautiful sunset, Mr. Howard visited again. Ethan ran to him and said, "Grandpa, I finally understand what you meant. Time really is precious. I've achieved so much just by using it wisely." Mr. Howard patted his grandson's shoulder and said, "I'm proud of you, Ethan. Remember, every moment is a gift. Treat it like treasure, and it will reward you with a fulfilling life." The moral: from that day on, Ethan made it his mission to inspire others to value their time. He shared his story with friends and classmates, encouraging them to turn every moment into an opportunity. Ethan learned an important lesson: time waits for no one. Whether you use it wisely or waste it, it will keep moving. But by making the most of every moment, you can achieve your dreams and create a meaningful life. This story teaches us that time is our most valuable resource. No matter who we are or where we come from, we all have the same 24 hours in a day. The question is, how will you use yours? Listening tip: practice reading the story aloud or listen to someone narrating it. Focus on pronunciation, rhythm, and understanding the meaning of each sentence. Reflect on how the story's message applies to your own life. Learn more stories, subscribe this channel. Thank you.